Good evening, everyone. It's really great to see you all here. I'm Susan Vita, the Chief of the Music Division, and tonight I am delighted to introduce this award-winning documentary, Max Roach, The Drum Also Waltzes. And the evening is even more special because we have here with us its distinguished co-directors and co-producers, Samuel D. Pollard and Ben Shapiro. They are standing over there at the edge. Welcome, gentlemen. It's wonderful having you here to grace our evening. This impressive and insightful film has been garnering terrific acclaim in a very, very short time. It was an official selection at the 2023 SXSW Film and TV Festival and was presented as part of PBS's landmark American Masters series. Moreover, in December, it just won the Best Music Documentary at the International Documentary Association. Well, that is fabulous. We are thrilled to presenting this documentary exploring the life and legacy of an iconic musician and pioneering cultural activist. It was born as a passion project for those gifted documentarians, one that grew out of the interviews each one did with him beginning in the mid-1980s. I was talking with them earlier, and when you say, well, when I talked to Max, he said, then you kind of get goosebumps. This is really, really the real deal. Having Sam and Ben here is so meaningful, as they did a great deal of the research for him actually here at the library. And I believe there's a scene in the documentary that shows the reading room. And that is, the Roach Collection is one of the music division's treasures. Ben has described it as an extraordinary and enduring collection, recording the story of a great artist, an amazing experimentalist, and a creative entrepreneur. He noted that Roach essentially became an archivist himself at the end of his life, compiling and organizing the collection, which the library eventually acquired from his children. So for us, the documentary is really a wonderfully rich example and a promotion for the library's mission to preserve the fabric of our cultural heritage. So that's one of the reasons why we really love putting on this show. Presenting is also a major part of that mission, and as many of you know, and Max Roach made a memorable, adventurous appearance here in the Coolidge with the Beijing Trio and composer John Yang. As soon as he experienced the acoustics in our Coolidge Auditorium, he changed the way he played, and he chose to play with brushes alone, to a tribute to the acoustics in the hall. There's another reason to offer gratitude and praise this evening. I would like to take this moment to introduce a most generous philanthropist who has given the Library of Congress a very rich public presence in the world of jazz. Dan Logan has been a great friend of the library and an incredibly knowledgeable collaborator for us, as we have established a superlative and lasting presence for jazz here at the library. Dan has really made it possible for us to be a major jazz presenter and to be known as a venue presenting vibrant jazz programming, concerts, films, lectures, and interesting educational projects with significant artists from all corners of the jazz field. His ongoing, very generous support from the Rivada Foundation of the Logan family has underwritten our jazz presentations for several years. And all the absolutely stunning artists and projects you will see this year are from that same source. And the roster of these artists is remarkable. One of the earliest projects that he made possible for us was a commission and concert for Maria Schneider. We were very proud of that commission, especially when Data Lords subsequently won a Grammy. Dan was a major unwriter of this film, The Drum Also Waltzes, and also of another film, The Jazz Loft, according to W. Eugene Smith, which we are screening in March. Dan, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to you for your passionate commitment to jazz at the library. You have helped us grow and diversify our public programs enormously in an impressively short period of time. Thank you so much, Dan. Can I entice you up to say a couple of words?
I'm embarrassed already. So, it's been such a pleasure to work with Sue and Ann and the whole staff of the music division. These are great people. I met Ben Shapiro at Full Frame Documentary Film Festival. He told me that he and Sam were making a film about Max Roach. He said the magic words, Max Roach. And I'll tell you how I discovered Max Roach. I used to shop at this bookstore. They sold used records, remainders, and there were these two records that said they were by Charlie Parker with Miles Davis. And I was 14 years old. It was about 1960. And I thought, this guy, Charlie Parker, must really be something. I didn't know who he was, but I knew who Miles Davis was. And it turned out that he really was. And these were the dial recordings, the famous dial recordings with Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis, and Max Roach, among others. And Max was a very powerful drummer. He changed jazz drumming completely. And of course, Charlie Parker and all the beboppers made such a huge difference in music, and we're feeling it, I think, still today. But they certainly changed my life, and so I just wanted to mention one other thing. I like the film very much, and it mentions the Freedom Now Suite, which was totally appropriate because it was so important for civil rights. But if you really want to hear Max Roach as a drummer, I think the best recording is something called the Freedom Suite. It's a little confusing. He did it with Sonny Rollins, and Oscar Pettiford was there too. But I think it's a remarkable recording, and he played the drums almost as a melodic instrument. So check that out. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan, for your words and for your support. We couldn't do it without you. It's really true. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking and let's start the film. Oh, would you guys like to say something? Thank you for coming up.
It's a great pleasure to be out here tonight, to have all this audience to see the film about Mr. Roach that Mr. Shapiro and I have been working on for a long, long time. And we both knew Max personally, so it was a real sort of a privilege to be in his presence. Thank you for coming out and enjoy the film. Ben, you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I want to underscore and thank Dan again for being a partner in the project from the very beginning. That was key to this even happening. And it also means a lot, I think, to both of us that we're screening the film here, where, as you know, the archive is. I mean, it was so instrumental and key in terms of both material in the film. I mean, there are several hundred photographs, as you'll see in the film. And, you know, just trying to think, maybe 70–80% of them are from the archive, are, you know, downstairs. So, and also just as a resource tool. To delve into particulars and specifics about Max's life, it was a valuable experience to come here. So this film really wouldn't exist without the archive and without the music division to support it and to welcome us into that archive when we did all the work there. So thank you for that.